You ever had a character you really liked? Loved even. Like, you loved the character down to their very character design? And not only did you love them for their character design at first glance, you actually wanted to get a deeper and better understanding of that same character that you really loved. And have you ever seen a bunch of dorks completely misinterpret the entire character to their own interpretation of it instead of what it is at face value? Well, maybe you do have some type of grasp of what I'm actually talking about, but for those who don't, this is Moomin, better known as Moomin Troll. He possesses a kind, curious, and caring personality, which is in combination with his nature as a Moomin to be adventurous, making him a lovable character for pretty much damn near anyone he comes across. Although he is a bit sensitive and susceptible to teasing, he doesn't mind fooling around with you back. This said lovable personality was developed from his parents Moomin Mama and Moomin Papa, whom he unsurprisingly also gets his adventurous nature from, with him also being his most boldest when it is required of him to do so. Just from his adventures alone, we meet 3 important characters, 2 in specific which are integral to my critique in this video. Sniff, his very obvious love interest, Snorkmaiden, and his much older friend, Snufkin. I'm not going to say how he met them for the sake of keeping that for another video. As I brought up in the beginning of this video, there are many misinterpretations within the community of the Moomins, some being about entire characters, others being fan-made headcanons, which I'm not a fan of. There is a misinterpretation that is surprisingly popular among the fanbase, considering how fucking retarded it is. I don't understand how this completely took over the community to the point where the entire franchise knows that this is a thing. Someone must have had a bit too much free time on their hands. Maybe it takes a special type of autism? Free time uppercutted in their ass, fam. I don't know what the community was feeling like, but this is one of the many narratives that just shows that this community has no cognitive thought or critical thinking skills, and it is so annoying. I'm briefly going to explain the 2 characters that are important to this video so that we are on the same page. This is Snufkin. He is Moomin's older, more philosophical friend. Him and Moomin have this little brother big brother dynamic going on, which is the most consistent interpretation throughout every adaptation of the Moomins. Please keep that in mind because I'm about to restrain myself from calling a specific group of people a bunch of slurs in a second. This is Snorkmaiden, known as Moomin's one and only love interest. She can be the typical damsel in distress at certain points within the Moomins, but when she is at her sassiest, top 3 funniest Moomin characters, dog. Her and Moomin's dynamic resemble that of Moomin's parents. It doesn't resemble that too much because they still have their own distinct personalities of such. Snorkmaiden does end up adopting certain qualities of Moomin's mom though, and I think with how much she hangs around Moomin, that's just inevitable. Now for the part where I really get to digging in these niggas. You cannot be a real Moomin's fan if you thought this was an actual thing. You smell like shit, get away from me. It's no way you're a real person. You must have been generated by a fucking AI. Or I can just get into the actual reason why you think this instead of just talking shit. And honestly, I think I do know the reason why you adopted this narrative. It's not that hard to pinpoint it. So there was, and still is, this wave of sort of like retardation, which took over the community overwhelmingly a while back. It still left its imprint on the community to an extent, but it wasn't as annoying as when it was in its fucking prime. This annoying obsession being about the relationship between Moomin and Snufkin. Please don't get me started on how incompetent this fanbase is. Please don't. Please don't. This is where we introduce the problem, which is the real topic of this video. Now, I briefly explained the dynamic between Moomin and Snufkin earlier in the video, which is what is objectively right in the entirety of every series of the Moomins, including from the original comics. However, with this misconception, they completely pervert the entire concept of their relationship, completely not giving a fuck what the original author intended. This misconception being that Moomin and Snufkin have a romantic or homosexual relationship.
What?
Which is not proven, and it's even more laughably terrible simply because there are so many reasons that go against it alone. This is where this part comes in handy because we will be getting into those reasons as of right now. Now, how I am going to structure this part of the video, debunking all of the agenda and stuff. I'm going to go through a set of particular clips in no real order, but I'm going to be focused on putting things in their proper context while just stating what is factual, and then we will get into every single one of these problems in far more detail. I've already filled you guys in on enough of the characters and their dynamics, so when I point out something stupid or silly, you can understand where I'm coming from. This is the first clip that we're going to be going over for this video. Do me a favor, take a look at this shit real quick.
The gist is that Moomin Troll, his family, friends, and lover, Snufmin, reside in a peaceful valley and do cool valley stuff.
Are you an idiot? You're
an idiot!
Are you a functional retard? Like, are you... Why out of everything of the Moomins you're focused on the sexuality of a fucking child? Mind you, nobody asked for this information. She just wanted to shove that up everybody's ass. I'm willing to cut some slack and give her some grace and say that this is just a mindless piece of agenda, so I can't go as hard as I want to, because she was just fooling around.
Really, nigga?
It doesn't make her look any less pseudo-pedophilic, but okay. My point is, not only is she objectively wrong, because if you actually read the original books, you can see that that doesn't happen, but the official Moomin site tells you that doesn't happen. This is just in case you didn't believe what I was telling you at the beginning of the video. All of the Snufmin uprise is literally just a huge piece of agenda. They are completely making this up. I don't know why they felt the need to do that. Mind you, official website by the way, and if the official website is telling you no, then good luck trying to convince me that it is anything else, bruh.
Moomin says here that bark boats are romantic, and he's overjoyed when he receives one from Snufmin along with a letter.
What a fucking idiot. The context as to why Snufmin gave Moomin the bark boat doesn't even fit within the view of any romanticism, so why are you lying? The context is right on the screen of the viewer's face, so what the fuck is the purpose of you lying for, bro? Niggas will do anything for a piece of agenda, bro. Give that shit up.
56! 56!
And to gaslight you further into believing that this is an actual fact, this pathetic piece of fucking cow dung hides the agenda under the guise of stating things that are actually factual.
Moomin says here that bark boats are romantic, and he's overjoyed when he receives one from Snufmin along with a letter.
Man, that was the cappest thing all day.
This is a blatant twist of facts, bro. Who is falling for this shit? At least try to hide the agenda, bro. It being so obvious is so fucking irritating. Now yes, Moomin does view bark boats in a romantic context, and this is consistent throughout the original books, but it's also a hobby he does in his free time, and he doesn't have any thoughts of romanticism when showing it to Snufmin. Not to mention, it's just a common interest between the two of them, which is also shown throughout the original books. The only time he brings up any romantic context is when giving it to Storkmaiden. You don't magically make that piece of context disappear. That was fully intentional. Please, for the love of God, just go read the original books, man. Now we get to the part where I state all my issues with this in specific. I seriously cooked up a lot of thoughts for this part. For one, Moomin already has a girlfriend, dumbass nigga. I don't understand why she's continuously left out by these homosexual misogynists. And for two, Snufmin doesn't have any sort of attachment with material possessions and objects as it is. So I would not see how he would develop anything past that sort of level of attachment for another being. This is the exact same point that they brung up in the official website. Just in case it needs to be brought up again, because I know there's that one fucking idiot.
You're an idiot!
3. Moomin is an only child and is especially very young, and Snufmin is on the more mature side, so does this ship not seem at the very least predatory? I never understand why nobody questions this aspect, mainly because it completely shits on Snufmin as a character and makes him look like a twink pedophile. Stop giving me that stank ass look. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. And lastly, this is something I've never seen the community entertain, but I just wanted to bring this up so other people can take this in mind. As a reminder, Moomin Papa is based off the father of Tove Jansson, who is very conservative and right-wing. We also have to take into account Moomin Papa's perspective on this matter, and also Snorkmaiden's too, but mainly Moomin Papa's. With that being said, You're telling me after all of the inexplicable madness I survived throughout the adventures, my only biological son becomes a fucking queer? I'm good. And we're just approaching the situation from his perspective if this shit was canon. It gets so much worse, man. Moomin Mama would honestly be able to see where Moomin Papa is coming from, but she would be far more comforting. After Moomin gets his Moominous ass whooping.
Come here, son. Come here. Come here. I'm not gonna hurt you. Come here. Put your hands on the wall. Hey, don't move. Put your hands on the wall. Come here. No, cry for it. Why are you crying? Why are you running? Come here. Why are you running? Why are you running? Hey, stop hiding your butt. I'm not gonna hurt you. Come here.
Yeah, it's back to reading Leviticus chapter 20 verse 13 for your ass. They've been taking care of this nigga ever since he was a baby, including they've been surviving very heinous adventures ever since they've been in their youth. So best believe that homophobic outrage is leading to a fucking ass beating faster than Moomin can fly out the explanation out of his esophagus. On a serious note, they have literally every right to have parental frustration about this shit, bruh. But that's if it was canon, and that shit will never happen in a million years. So this is something I just now discovered as in editing this video. This is just the icing on the cake. The Snufmin shit is so bad. People have to clarify frame 1 that they are not homophobic for slightly touching on the topic. Why do you have to fucking clarify that within a heartbeat's notice? Is there something I'm missing? You know this community doesn't fucking read, right? It is so amazing that even the fandom is tired of these shipping queer woke fucking retards. They hate them, I hate them. You could never get enough fuel to hate them, and they are fucking insufferable. I would like to entertain one last important character to If This Ship Was Canon, that being Snorkmaiden. Now I'm not gonna say too much or get into too much intricate detail, but just know, Snorkmaiden is turning into Shaniqua that night. It cannot be ignored how much she grips up tight on this nigga like her life depends on it. She will be with him through life and death. You have no business gripping up on him like this. Look! That's you! That is you! She will be with this man until the day she die. This is the same character whose quotes largely revolve around Moomin Troll, one of them being a dream that she could impress her man. So we can conclude that if Snorkmaiden finds out about this and she sees Snufkin, she might be going to jail. Maybe that's just me being too brutally honest though. There's a lot of topics I still have yet to discuss in this community. I seriously got fatigued from babbling about this one. If you're wondering why I did not cover a majority of the 3D Uprise Snufmin outrage, I wanted to suffer for a much in-depth video I have planned on it in the future video. So if you're wondering why I did not bring it up or just straight up left a majority of that out entirely, yeah, that's the explanation. The community has a hard time taking a hard stance on certain or specific issues of such, which is why everyone is so embarrassingly bitch-faced about the same thing. Like, can you stop being delusional and interpret it for what it is? Fucking idiots. My conclusion is short and simple. I've already done the research to prove this is objectively wrong, so I don't need to say much, other than Snufmin fans are just pure cancer of this community and should make like a cured one and go. That's all for this video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
You know